Today, we're diving into a really cool project called WorkPal. The whole idea is to completely change how we think about our AI assistants, turning them from just, tools into actual teammates. Let's see how they're pulling it off.
Sound familiar? You get an idea, so you pop open ChatGPT to brainstorm. Then you grab that text, paste it into a Google Doc. Then you jump over to Figma to start designing. Then it's back to ChatGPT to get some feedback, back to the Google Doc to make updates, and back to Figma for more revisions. It's this endless kind of soul-crushing cycle. So here's the game plan for this explainer. First, we're going to unpack that exact problem. We'll call it the digital workmates. Then we'll meet the solution, WorkPal. We'll even see a prototype in action, which is pretty cool, turning simple notes into project tickets. After that, we get to the secret sauce, an AI that actually has a personality. And we'll wrap up by looking at what this all could mean for the future of AI.
All right, let's dive right into the core problem, because this isn't just about being a little annoyed. It's about a fundamental friction that's slowing us all down in our digital work. I mean, this is the perfect example. It's a real-world workflow from WorkPal's creator when they were building a side project. Look at that. It's a 6-step shuffle between different apps just to get one idea moving. And every single one of those apps has its own little world, its own context, sometimes even its own AI. It's just a recipe for confusion and inefficiency. And here's the bottom line. Every single time we switch from one app to another, we break our focus. We lose that creative flow, that momentum. We end up spending more energy managing our tools than actually doing the work that matters. It's a massive productivity killer. But what if there was a totally different way to do things? And this brings us right to the big idea behind WorkPal. What if you had one central agent to rule them all? The concept is so simple, but it's incredibly powerful. Instead of you jumping between all your apps, WorkPal does the jumping for you. Think of it like an AI that plugs into all the tools you already use, letting you knock out complex tasks that touch multiple programs, all just by having a single conversation. And this table just lays it out perfectly. We're talking about a move away from this manual, broken world of copy-paste and juggling a dozen different AIs to a smooth, automated workflow where you just talk to your one agent. It's all about having a conversation instead of clicking a million buttons. Now, what I think is really smart here is that WorkPal isn't trying to reinvent everything from scratch. Nope, it's learning from the best in the business. From ChatGPT, it's borrowing that idea of a back-and-forth cooperative conversation. From Perplexity, it's taking that ability to easily explore related information. And from Copilot, it's grabbing those super handy one-click action buttons, which WorkPal calls peel buttons, to make taking the next step totally effortless. Okay, all that theory is great, but let's see how this thing actually performs. We're going to walk through a quick prototype demo to really see WorkPal connect the dots between different apps. So imagine this. The user starts with a totally normal human request. They're not digging through folders or even telling the AI which app to look in. They're just asking their agent for what they need, plain and simple. And boom, right away, WorkPal shows you it's not just a dumb bot. It's connected to the user's calendar, it sees 2 meetings that could fit the bill, and it asks for a little clarification. See, this is a partnership, a real conversation. The user picks one, and this is where it gets really good. WorkPal doesn't just go and fetch the raw text from the notes. No, it actually analyzes the content. It understands it, and it pulls out a key, actionable insight, a brand new requirement for the project. And check this out. It doesn't just sit there and wait for the next command. WorkPal actually thinks ahead. It anticipates the next logical step and says, hey, should I create a project ticket for this? It's bridging that gap between a conversation and actual work getting done. The user says yes, and just like that, poof, the task is done. Something that would have taken, 5 or 6 steps, finding the notes, opening the project tool, creating a new ticket, copying and pasting the details, all of that just happened in one quick, easy conversation. So, WorkPal is clearly efficient. But let's be honest, in today's world, just being efficient isn't enough to compete with the giants. And that brings us to the project's most unique, most strategic idea. Its secret weapon, really. I mean, this is the multi-billion-dollar question, isn't it? When you've got behemoths like OpenAI and Google just dominating the field, how on earth does a smaller project even make a dent? It is a tough, tough game. And here's the answer, this really powerful insight from WorkPal's creator. Getting things done isn't just about raw speed. It's also about how we feel. We want our tools to make us feel comfortable, supported, and, well, understood. So the core strategy for WorkPal isn't to try and build a bigger, badder AI model. The strategy is to build a deeper connection between the human and the AI. The focus shifts from just utility to an actual working relationship. And the way they do this is just brilliant. When you first set it up, WorkPal asks you to think about a real person, a mentor, a colleague, anyone you admire. Then you pick out the qualities you like about them. Maybe they're really positive or super direct or creative. And based on your choices, WorkPal generates a one-of-a-kind AI personality just for you. And this is so much more than a gimmick. It's a really deep strategy. Because when your AI reflects values that you admire, you start to build a real emotional connection. You're way more patient when it's learning or makes a mistake, and you develop a loyalty that's based on something deeper than just features. It's based on an assistant that feels like it actually gets you. Okay, so let's zoom out for a second and think about what all this means for the bigger picture, for the future of how we work with AI. The long-term vision here, the North Star, is pretty clear. We're heading towards a future where every single one of us has our own dedicated private AI assistant. An agent that's woven into all of our apps and services and truly customizes our entire digital world. And that really leaves us with a fascinating question to chew on. As AI gets more and more powerful, maybe the thing that makes us choose one over another won't be about who has the longest list of features. Maybe the winner will be the one that makes you feel supported, understood, and comfortable. You know, a true teammate. Maybe even one with a soul.